All last night, a couple of big matches with playoff implications. The Roosevelt Rough Riders taking on one of the top teams in the state, the Reagan Rattlers. Roosevelt's Savannah Hunter finds some open floor for the big kill. The Rattlers were able to put some plays together, though, as Maya Allen goes back line for the big swing and the big points. But it was too much domination by the Rattlers at the net. Reagan gets the clean sweep, 3-0. A family connection between O'Connor head coach Yami Garcia and that little smile right there. See, she got a little smile on her face. She's one sitting on the bench over there. She's going against Sarah Morris, who's not only Sotomayor's head coach when she played, but also her niece. Both teams battling for number 4 spot in the playoffs. Yalina Almagiri spikes with the big kill. The Panthers pretty strong, though, as Jalen Tuiasosopo slams one home, 25-18. And then a big save coming up at the end. Put that in slow motion for you. Heads up! Coming at you right in the bleachers. She almost goes into those folding chairs. Carly Chavez gets it over the net, and Panthers still score a point. O'Connor goes on to win that one 3-0. Oh, you knew this was going to happen. Spurs rookie Victor Wembanyama expressing his commitment to the France national team for their 2024 Olympics. In the wake of France's poor showing at the World Cup last month, Wemby says he will be present at the Olympics and, quote, there is no other goal than gold this summer. The number 1 draft pick chose to focus on preparing for his rookie season with San Antonio. LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant could be headlining Team USA and their roster. But as old as those guys are, Wemby might be the headliner for France. So there you go. So you could see see France and you could see those guys.
We'll be watching.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hey, we're only 11 days away from something really big, a potential government shutdown, and there's still no clear path for House Speaker Kevin McCarthy to get the votes he needs to pass his budget. Why he's even facing pushback within his own party.
And today at 5, with so many car seats on the market, it could be hard for parents to pick the one they feel that will really protect their baby the best during a crash. Consumer Reports releasing the top performing car seats from its own crash test. That's today at 5 after Entertainment Tonight. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill working on a deal to avoid a government shutdown in less than 2 weeks. And while politicians fight among themselves, if they don't reach an agreement, Americans will be the one paying the price. As ABC's Faith Abube reports, millions of people could feel the effects by having to miss out on paychecks, and thousands of children could miss out on Head Start access.
Republican House Speaker Kevin McCarthy scrambling to corral enough members of his own party to pass several spending bills as the clock ticks towards a potential government shutdown. Deep divisions among House Republicans increasingly threatening what could be one of the largest government shutdowns in U.S. history. That is, if lawmakers are unable to approve new funding for government agencies by September 30th.
It's not September 30th. The game is not over, so we continue to work through it. And I've been at this place many times before, and we're going to solve this problem.
But on Tuesday, House Republicans could not muster the votes to pass their own defense spending bill after 5 hardliners blocked the measure from advancing. Lawmakers now have less than 2 weeks to pass 12 appropriation bills or approve a temporary funding patch called a continuing resolution to keep the federal government running.
I thought the era of continuing resolutions was over.
Ultra-conservative Republican lawmakers remain steadfast in their demands for deeper spending cuts and stricter border policies, both unlikely to pass the Democratic-controlled Senate or be signed into law by President Biden.
The last thing we want to do is go backwards and have a shutdown.
Overnight, the White House sounding the alarm about the financial and emotional hardship a shutdown would cause many Americans, including forcing as many as 4 million government workers, along with military troops and law enforcement agents, to work without pay. Money to fund disaster relief could run low, and 10,000 children would lose access to Head Start.
We're pulling for the speaker and hoping we can move forward.
And while a shutdown would be devastating, essential government services would continue. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and the U.S. Postal Service would not be impacted. But both Democratic and Republican lawmakers have said they want to avoid a shutdown. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Attorney General Merrick Garland getting grilled by the House Judiciary Committee on his investigation into the president's son, Hunter Biden. It was supposed to be a routine oversight hearing, but lawmakers took the chance to ask some pointed questions as to why the Department of Justice allowed the statute of limitations to run out on Biden's felony tax fraud investigation. But the Attorney General pushed back against the idea that his DOJ was protecting the president. Republicans accusing Garland of continuing to weaponize the department against conservatives. Meanwhile, Democrats also showed their dissatisfaction with him, saying the department is too timid about going after former President Donald Trump. Garland, when questioned about his FBI chief's determination that the current border situation is a serious security risk for the country, deferred the question to Homeland Security.
Outside with Live Cam, we are still hanging in there at the end of September. What is it, the 20th of September? We're still wearing shorts and T-shirts and no water anywhere. This is just brutal. It continues.
How is today any different from what we had in August, other than the triple digits?
It's really not. I mean, we're only shaving off a few degrees here, keep in mind. We're still going to be up around 98 degrees today. It's been since about mid-June that we've been dealing with basically the same thing every day. Remember back in April and May, we actually did get some good rain, but since then, it's just all dried up. It has been one heck of a summer. That's all we can say about it, and I'm hopeful that maybe we can get some rain back in the forecast early next week. We just need a good soaking rain. Weather where you live right now, well, it's not going to be raining today. That much we know for sure. 87 degrees at the airport. Heat index is at 89. New Braunfels, heat index is already up to 95. You can bet it will be over 100 there today for the feels like number. Seguin feels like 93. Bernie and Kerrville still in the 80s, but into the 90s soon. So no one can escape the heat today. Here in San Antonio, 98 is what we're shooting for a high, but it'll feel like 100. There's enough humidity out there for that. So just be careful. We don't want to let our guard down with regards to heat safety. If you plan to spend a lot of time outside, it can still be somewhat dangerous. Here's the good news. The rain chances. They really kick in late Sunday into Monday, and I'm feeling a little more optimistic about Monday's rain chance. We could go higher than that, so as we look at the models and pour over the models over the next several days here, hopefully we can bring those numbers up. Make sure you tune in to Adam Caskey tonight. He'll have the latest model data, and maybe he can raise the rain chances a little bit. We'll see. But we'll have much more on those rain chances and the tropics, too, coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Look forward to that. The FDA, CDC asking people to get the updated COVID-19 vaccine. But there's a problem. Some pharmacies have already run out of doses and had to cancel vaccine appointments. And some patients expecting insurance to cover the vaccine appointments have been surprised to find out that they've got to pay out of pocket. The shot retails for between $100 and $200 with an administration fee. For the most part, the snafus seem to be short-term problems related to limited early supplies or trouble getting the correct codes to set up bill insurance. However, experts say these were avoidable issues and are slowing the momentum of the fall vaccine campaign.
The FDA sending a drug maker back to the drawing board. ARS Pharmaceuticals nasal spray called Neffy is a needle-free epinephrine that is aimed at people who suffer from severe allergies. Earlier this year, an independent branch of the FDA recommended that this product be approved. However, yesterday, the agency asked for more information about Neffy, including more research on repeated doses of the drug. The president and CEO of ARS issued a statement saying the company was very surprised by the action. If Neffy does eventually get approved, it would be the first product of its type. Roughly 40 million Americans experience severe allergic reactions.
A group of educators are hoping to diversify the teacher pipeline and inspire San Antonio students along the way.
Tiffany Huertas talking to a local high school teacher who shares the way he's hoping to make change.
How to take notes. What should your notes look like?
Benjamin Garcia has had a passion for teaching since high school.
I noticed my classmates struggling, and so I'd go over to them and I'd be like, hey, do you need help? And it turned out like I would help several of them.
Today he is doing what he loves and teaching at KIPP University Prep High School in San Antonio. Garcia hopes to inspire the next generation of teachers and wants to do that through a new group he is part of.
We want to build infrastructure to help students in K through 12 have access to how do I become a teacher? We want that very early.
He is one of the members of the Male Teacher of Color Collaborative.
We're just trying to bring more awareness about the issue of not having enough male teachers of color in the classroom. I believe that students need that representation in the classroom.
According to the Texas Education Agency, in the 2022-2023 school year, 75% of teachers were female. The other 25 were male. Of those male teachers, data shows 53% were white, 30% were Hispanic, and just 14% were Black.
So we make investments with urban core districts.
Dalia Flores Contreras is the CEO of the nonprofit City Education Partners that focuses on ensuring that every child in the urban core has access to high-quality school. The nonprofit helped bring educators like Garcia together to form the collaborative.
We know representation matters, so when we were making investments in the talent pipeline, we said we need to have some specific investments and a focus on increasing the number of male teachers of color in our classrooms.
Currently, there are about 11 members in this group. K through 12th grade teachers from different schools. In July, the collaborative hosted a conference. Over 100 educators attended.
We invited everybody, every male teacher of color from the city to come out to our conference. We had several panels on what it's like to be a male teacher of color.
Garcia welcomes others to join the collaborative.
We want to be able for you to be a mentor to other teachers or to students in the classroom. We believe that you can do it, and we need you.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT12 News.
The government agency that protects consumers says the maker of a wildly popular game owes millions of players a refund. We're going to take a look at who could get paid and why.
As many as 37 million people could be owed money from a maker of a popular game. The Federal Trade Commission says the company behind Fortnite tricked kids into spending money on game purchases, then made it difficult to get refunds. Epic Games agreed to pay $245 million in penalties in December for violating provisions of the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. The FTC says Epic Games initially tailored its in-game purchases, their options to appeal to children. Payments.
Originally, the refund button was placed in a location where users were likely to find it. And when too many people saw the button and asked for refunds, the company moved it so people would not get their money back.
Epic Games now made a number of changes regarding in-game purchases.
Stores are now pushing to get the holiday shopping season started even earlier. Major retailers now have sales planned starting early next month. ABC's Becky Worley with what kind of deals you can expect in October.
It's Michael's lowest prices of the season.
Wait, Christmas sales in September? Yeah, kinda. Retailers across the board announcing October sales in an early bid for your holiday dollars.
Amazon, Best Buy, Target, and Walmart have all announced sales right on top of each other for that first couple weeks in October.
Amazon with their Prime Big Deal Days, October 10th and 11th for Prime members only. And the other major players online with similar dates to kick off the sales season. Now, one reason they may be starting earlier.
These early sales offer multiple rounds of shopping, more time to hunt for deals, and more time to spread out their budgets.
Amazon is highlighting deal categories like home goods, fashion, and beauty, with specific deals promoted for the October event, like 60% off this home security system and 50% off a Sony soundbar. Just this morning, Target saying it will offer thousands of new items under $25 in the apparel, home, and food categories during its sale. And while analyst Deloitte is predicting retail sales growth to slow to almost half that of 2022, they say it's not clear that will translate into bigger discounts around the holidays.
Since inflation has come down, we're looking at more like a world that we had before the pandemic. It's consistent with a moderately growing economy again.
Meaning retail inventories may fall in line with consumer spending, and that translates to very predictable sales and modest discounts for the holiday season.
That was Becky Worley reporting.
It doesn't feel like Christmas.
Doesn't this look?
It doesn't feel like fall. Come on.
And this looks like a still photograph. Like you could put this picture up anytime over the last month, with few exceptions.
Who are you telling? Yeah, I agree with you. It has just been same thing over and over again. It's like we're in Groundhog Day, but in the middle of summer, right? So we need some changes. We do have some on the horizon as we get into next week. 87 so far today. The average is 89, so we'll be above that. That's no surprise. Record is 100, set back in 1947. Record low is 51, set back in 1981. Will there be a cool down? Will we see rain chances? We'll take another look coming up.
I'm getting bored with this weather. Just flat out bored.
What if?
Sorry, just kidding.
We did an investigative report and found out all the meteorologists have actually been on vacation.
Well, there's like an AI guy standing there?
Yeah.
That is?
Easy to predict.
I'm real.
He's real.
No, I don't want to be replaced by AI yet, okay? Still need a job.
You're too important. Maybe us, not you.
Well, not this summer so much, right? I mean, we haven't needed a forecast on several of the days because it's just been hot and dry. We know that. I do think things are going to start to change. And I know we've talked ad nauseum about the lack of rainfall, but I do want to show you this graphic. It's the departure from normal. So how far are we below average when you're talking rainfall? And the entire state is now below average. It wasn't that way all year long. It's just kind of turned in that direction as recently. Even places like Amarillo, which did get some rain, now below average. San Antonio, one of the hardest hit areas, but you look up and down the I-35 corridor, that's kind of the place where it's at its worst, right? Dallas-Fort Worth, Waco, Austin down to San Antonio, and even Houston now below average. So it's not just us. It's been rough, but the rain chances, as I said, right now we're holding out hope for Monday. Cautiously optimistic. That's the way I'm going to term it. I feel pretty good about it, but the problem with this is our computer models have just been so unreliable as of late. We want to make sure that we're headed in the right direction because they've kind of flip-flopped on Monday. But the latest look does show perhaps some increasing rain chances. Right now, 87. Dew point is at 66. And still pretty humid out there. We had some morning clouds. They have since gone away, so we've got perfectly clear skies over San Antonio. In fact, not a cloud in the sky as we speak. But dew points are high enough to where you can feel that humidity. Dew points still in the 70s around Helotes, but most places now mid to upper 60s. That's enough to create the heat index. And the dew point trend over the next several days, it grows. We see higher dew points, more humidity, especially as we head towards the weekend. So on a day like Saturday, when we're forecasting a high of 97 or 98, you've got a dew point in the afternoon in the mid-60s. That's going to mean heat indices 100 to 102. And so that is the case all the way through Sunday until we see some of those changes. Heat index today, this is the heat index forecast for 5 p.m. We're thinking near 100 here in town, but a lot of places will be right at that threshold. Bandera, it's forecasting a heat index around 102. As you go east of town, I think the heat indices will be even higher where you have the higher, thicker humidity. So the Futurecast shows our ridge sort of nudging in a little bit, and that's creating the heat. But we finally get it to push back to the southwest a little bit. We got a disturbance rolling down by late Sunday into Monday, plus a weak frontal boundary. Those two things combined should give us a decent rain chance, I think Monday afternoon, maybe even lingering over into Tuesday. That timing could change a little bit, so stay tuned. That's the idea right now. Very quickly, out in the tropics, we still have Nigel, 30% chance of development off the East Coast, another wave that likely develops. Nigel's just a Category 1 hurricane, not a problem. It becomes extratropical, moves into open waters. But I do want to take you out to the Pacific. We have Kenneth out here. Interestingly enough, some of the models take some of this energy from Kenneth and rotate it all the way around that ridge I was talking about and brings it into Texas. Does it do a lot for us? No, but it is a reminder that we look to the Pacific this time of year. A lot of times in October especially, if we can get some Pacific systems out here, some of that moisture feeds into Texas, and it's helped us get some good rainfall events during the month of October. Just something to watch. Extended forecast. 98 Thursday, 97 Friday, 97 Saturday. Fall officially begins, and there are those rain chances with some slightly cooler numbers by Monday and Tuesday. We'll be right back.
I'm excited because I get to say astrophysicist.
Oh, very
That,
good.
huh? Yeah. We've been working
Look
on
at you
that for like the
geeking
last 5
out.
minutes.
I love that.
I love.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
So,
She
cut
loves
them off.
something.
She loves
Okay,
something.
you know what you
We'll
might
find out
love?
about that.
Conchas like these. I mean, these are next level conchas. And Christina Chio from La Concheria is here.
Oh, these are so good. What's your secret?
We bake at a lower temperature
Yeah.
for a longer time to ensure they're very soft, like little pillows,
Okay.
and always locked.
Oh my goodness gracious. And wait to see some of the other baked goods here. These are, you've never had conchas like this. All right.
Now, mum's the word.
Haha, yes indeed. Homecoming season, mums. Boy, have they gotten big. This is an actual mum. Look at the size of this
They
thing.
are getting bigger. They are getting more elaborate. Try not to break it, Mike. I heard something fall, and
Yes,
we are going
indeed.
to show you how some of these creations come to be.
Oh, speaking of big, the Big Give is kicking off tonight, 6 p.m. We are going to have a preview of that.
And, oh yes, get ready to geek out because you got to speak with Neil deGrasse Tyson, right?
Yes, he has a new book out called To Infinity and Beyond, and what a great guy to talk with. We chatted for a long, long time. We got a two-part segment, and we're talking about space. What's out there?
What's out there? So we want to know, do you think there is intelligent life on other planets? Scan that QR code and let us know.
There is, but they could make a mum like this.